Woo! Sunny 12-mile run today in the Dominican Republic. And today's talking point is for those that want to be an awesome dad. It's a bit of a tricky one. So if you stay all the way to the end of this video, I may have the secret to being lucky enough to be an awesome dad. I also may, out of delirium from the heat and long mileage without food or water, forget. So hit me up with a message if I don't have an actual call to action in this video. But what inspired this thought was I joined a bunch of Facebook groups, mainly because buen dia, it's been a little sad for me to watch all my friends over the years get fatter, get sadder, fall further into their addiction, whether it's like porn or alcohol or illegal drugs or being a Democrat. They just keep doing these things that definitely negatively impact their health. And you know, it's like one of those things, I don't know if they know it, but maybe they don't think they're impacting their health negatively. Maybe that's the thing. Well, I've realized that there's no way to point out the bad things. You know, they kind of just gotta get to themselves. So I been engaging in groups of like awesome dad groups, and you may think like awesome dad groups are like, you know, I played with my kids, I took them to the sports, I coached their team, I pick them up from school, I build up their mom in front of them. Nope. Awesome dad groups are a bunch of whiny, weak, sad, pathetic men who are victims to their wives. It is the most, it made me think, maybe women have officially become the stronger sex on this planet. It may be that our reptilian brain that is strengthened from synthetic environment, inactivity, negativity, has finally overpowered our prefrontal cortex in men, because women are simply better at processing through stress and cortisol than men are. And maybe that's where we are in history right now. Because there's one post yesterday where this guy's like, I just can't take it anymore. I'm leaving my wife. You know, I'm just tired of her, you know, telling me how disappointed she is at me all the time, and how she goes to her family and tells them how disappointed she is at me, and how I can't do anything right. And I just can't take it anymore. So my suggestion was in the form of a question. If you've been told that you do everything wrong, have you tried
lap 5, 924
doing everything right? And that seems like a complex equation, but the neurology behind it is so profound. Okay, so let's dive into this, because there's one study, and I posted this video, maybe I'll post it again. Dr. Amanda Chung did the research for it and posted it on our clinic page a bit ago, so it might be gone because I closed that clinic. But what she discovered was that in multiple species, the neurological stress level of the male in the species imprints upon the female. So, meaning, whatever level of health the male is, the female will meet that level, which is super interesting because it's not the same with females. Because when they take females, in one study I'm thinking of specifically, which is the most significant, was like a rat study, and they took females that had one stressed rat, one not stressed rat, and they put the stressed rat with the not stressed rat with females together. They would rise up to a healthy level, the healthier rat. So typically by being around other female rats, they literally got healthier. So if we can break down this poor soul who's so stuck, because I mean really, like, gosh, guys are so, it seems like there's like two choices. It's like either A, be submissive to like the culture that is like the, overwhelming weakening of men, which is inactivity, synthetic environment, negativity, right? Self-deprivation for self-deprivation's sake. Or the opposite, which is like the hyper, what's his name? Whatever, Tate guy is like, I got multiple women, I keep my women in line. That's the problem. Gotta keep these women in line. So it's like, which, again, if we can break down the neurology behind it, Tate is like this MMA, super strong, super healthy male, right? So his neurological state is strength and peace and ease. And that's why he can do the things he does, and that's why he says the things he says. And that's why his women all, quote unquote, get in line. They don't get in line, and so they feel ease with his strength. And again, this is not like a sexism thing. This is just based on neurology. So these poor guys, it's like they have to develop this, I think it's a mindset of like, I'm done with this. I'm strong enough to walk away. But they're not actually strong. They're weak. They're fat. They're exhausted. They're what I call stuck in a state of asymmetry within the nervous system. They can't even adapt to basic challenges because the nervous system's so hijacked. So now you can see we're in a predicament now, right? It's either A, develop a mindset of I'm ultra masculine without the disciplines, and it's like Tate trained for like 7 years, right? To develop neurological disciplines in order to be the fighter that he is. But men, it's like, what I'm gonna do? Get rid of these people that are making me weak around me. My wife. Which, again, I'm all for getting rid of the weak people around you. Not solely because weak people around you make you weaker. Like, for example, if you hang out with a bunch of drug addicts and you're a recovering drug addict, the odds are you will become a drug addict again. Sorry. If you are someone who doesn't want to be overweight and die at a young age and have chronic illness and disability and not be able to enjoy your kids, don't hang out with overweight people, because studies have shown you will become overweight. And is that lonely? Yes. But again, the question is, would you rather be alone? Or would you rather be able to play and have high activity and enjoy your kids and have your kids have positive memories of you and be able to spend as much time with them as possible, and then their grandkids and play with their grandkids and their grandkids, or chronic illness and death? It's tricky. So I'm all about the whole get rid of the weak people because they make you weaker. But the second reason for that is that you hurt them. If you are stronger than those around you, you will hurt them. Not intentionally, maybe intentionally, I don't know. But for example, I'm a person that runs. If I tell someone, hey, we're friends, let's go on a run, and they are not strong enough to handle 12 miles in the sun, guess what the outcome is going to be? They're going to be vomiting, they're going to be hurt, and they're going to be defeated. And neurologically, that is what ends up happening. If you are stronger in some area of your life, you will hurt the people that are weaker around you. Unless you are very, very disciplined not to do it. And I'm not there. Because the only way that those people that are weaker around you can get stronger is if they have the disciplines in place to be able to adapt to the challenges of being around you. And that's a whole 3-hour continuing education lecture on neuroplasticity and neurological resilience. So, but I digress. The whole getting rid of the weaker people around you thing. Men now that are weak, exhausted, stressed, and feeling like they need to take control. The only person they can take control of is their wife, because she's weaker from his existence. So now, as I just said about getting rid of the weaker people, this is why husbands then leave their wives. Not because this new young thing is so much better. Not because the poor guy is stuck in a narcissistic relationship with women. It's because the only way we can perceive ourselves to get better is by cutting ourselves off from the weaker people. Here's the difference though. The difference, if you're married, you made a promise. So now this is the ultimate, stuck moment. Because for you, I don't know for you, maybe you don't care about breaking lies or breaking promises or lying or anything. But for me, I never thought I'd get married. Ever. Because my mom was married multiple times, multiple divorces. My dad was only got married to my mom because he got her pregnant, and he was abusive and physically and stuck in a vicious cycle of poverty that he learned from his parents, and so for me, I never saw the appeal of making a fake promise, right? Like marriage. What's the stats? Over half people get divorced. And there you go. I'll give you a little view of the ocean, which I'm not going to today. I'm going to turn around here. So, I always thought it was kind of like a joke of standing in front of a bunch of people, spend a ton of money, and be like, I'm promising to God and to this other person, I'm going to stay with them, rich or poor, sickness and health, better or worse.
Lap 6, 940.
And then it's unless we fall out of love, or unless I get enough friends around me that are you don't deserve that, then we'll get divorced. It seemed like a kind of a waste of time. It's well, you just want to hook up with people, just hook up with people. Don't need to pretend to make a promise that you're going to break like my parents did, and the majority of my friends did, and friends' parents did, growing up. So when I met Chelsea, she was smoking hot, innocent, virgin, Christian girl. I was oh man, I for sure am gonna tame this unicorn, innocent, virgin, beautiful girl. Yeah, right. And I found out, yes, she was who she was. And so, she, even though my belief system, my BS, told me that, what's the point of waiting for sex until marriage? You gotta make sure you're compatible, right? She was very much opposite. She's like, nah, nope, we ain't doing nothing until we get married. I thought for sure my belief system, my BS was I could break that belief system with hers. And boy, did I try. Woo! But after 4 years, on our wedding night, when I thought for sure I was right, my wife held me to a new standard. A standard which is what you say matters. So you say, I don't believe in doing X, Y, Z, then you hold it to it. And so she trained me over 4 years to hold that standard. And did I fight it? Oh yeah, I tried my best. And so at the point where I proposed to Chelsea, I realized here's a person that knows how to make a promise and keep it. So, feel good about making a promise to this person, because this is the person that can also make a promise. Because she can do the thing apparently no one can do anymore. It's like not have sex before marriage. It's like such a common thing now. It's like so common that it's like selling it online is like glorified, like celebrated. But that's Chelsea, so good luck finding another one of her if you're out there looking for a wife that's the same. I don't know if I met anybody yet since her that's been able to hold the same standard. And not to say any judgment against anyone else that doesn't, but again, that's where I differ in my training, because people say, oh man, running marathons must be so hard. Nah, getting Chelsea to marry me, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And then keeping her happy in that marriage and being married to me. A continual exercise. So, back to the whole men trying to feel strong by leaving the one weak person that they can leave. Because all the rest of their weak friends, they're not going to leave them. They make them feel good about themselves. And the wife is the only one that's trying to elevate her standard to have a better quality of life. We men have just been such weak, sad, neurologically imbalanced human beings now that we don't see it as someone holding us to a standard. We see it as, I'm just not supported. Oh man. And does this sound familiar? I'm wanting to defend these poor guys. You don't know. There's these girls that are just awful. And we're all awful. That's the thing. That leads to the third point. I guess I should tap it up. So then it's like one of those tricky situations. Like, okay, well, you just left the weak person that you perceived as holding you down in order to quote unquote be an awesome dad, but now you're just a liar. You're a liar because you lied to God and you lied to this person. Unless that wasn't part of your whole thing, then you're not. Then you're just a person that's getting out a legal contract. But I have not gone to a wedding ceremony where it's not like for richer war, sickness and health, in front of God. It's like it's kind of those words are all there. And I've yet to be a ceremony. It's like, and this is a legal obligation as long as they continue to both want to be married. I haven't been to that ceremony yet, so I feel pretty confident stating that the people that are like, I'm done with my wife, I'm divorcing her, are liars. And so, which then, to wrap up the whole like, well, how to be an awesome dad, right? So now, and neurologically, you can see how this road is presented, right? They don't really see what else to do, right? It's like, I gotta get away from this weak person that doesn't believe in me. If I had someone to believe in me, then I could do well. So they find some younger girl doesn't know better, or some more broken human that's more broken than them, and make it feel strong. And so it's so textbook predictable based on neurology. And I know I kind of poke fun and talk shit, but really I should have more empathy tonight. Yeah. The simple truth is, none of us know how to be awesome dads. Because for at least 3 generations now, what has our environment increasingly become? It's become more artificial, more synthetic. It's become more inactive, and it's become more negative. And all of those 3 things, our thoughts, our traumas, our toxins, those all train the reptilian center of our brain, which does not care about sequential planning, doesn't care about promises. It cares about one thing, and that thing is feelings. It's like it cares about feeling not bad. And because the amygdala, the reptilian brain, is our primitive dorsal vagal headquarters, meaning our most primitive neurological survival system within our body. And that system has become very strengthened over the last 2 or 3 generations. Well, actually, probably more than that. It's probably gradually, but it's really amped up because of that whole, because again, measuring the synthetic inactivity, negativity, you can look at how fast technology gains have gone up. When that part of our brain is strong, we only care about self, because it is telling us you need to do what's right for you for survival. And is it right? No, it's not right. Because what it's meant to be is it's meant to be a 30-second piece, nervous system, operating system. Danger, get away from danger, and then regain homeostasis, regain peace, regain ease, regain the ability to heal, to get stronger. So, by default, if synthetic, inactive, and negativity strengthens the neuroanatomy that makes us selfish, self-centered, lazy, and energy-conserving fat. I mean, really, probably the only people that we could study to find good dads are probably the Amish. The Amish and or indigenous people, because their nervous system would be in balance. They would reflexively and reactively be able to be selfless when it comes to their kids, and not in a I'm leaving their mom, becoming a liar because of my kids bullshit kind of way. Sorry, I held off on swearing until that part. But in a standard that would A,
Lab 7,
get rid of weakness.
943.
B, maintain honesty. And C, do what's right for kids. And so, since none of us have the neuroanatomy to be an awesome dad, we really have to look to the example that, in my mind, is the perfect example, which is Christ's example, right? And in the Bible, these guys moving his cattle. Bon dia, bon dia, bon dia. Woohoo! Don't be in. And in the Bible, like it says, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church. And to give you a quick recap of what Christ did for the church is he healed people. He told them, you actually have the ability to heal yourself. Faith has made you strong. Fed the hungry. welcome children, did not consider them wastes of time. When women did acts of service towards him and men tried to correct them, he said, no, she knows what she's doing. And then there was the whole being like accused of a bunch of bullshit, not defending himself, getting beaten, mocked, whipped, then having to carry his own death device for, it was like 2 miles up a hill. Has hands and feet nailed to said death device. Continued to get mocked. And his response back, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. He was the epitome of a balanced nervous system response. Complete control of his response, regardless of how difficult, and how torturing, how insulting, how demeaning the world was to him. So, I don't know. How are you doing? Maintaining that standard. For me, it's a constant effort. And that's really where it comes from, less effort and more of training. Because, again, our reptilian brain is quite the opposite. You want to come at me, I'm coming at you. You insult me, I'm going to insult you. And so, I did remember, the goal to be an awesome dad is to become Christ-like. Not believe in Christ, be Christ-like. And so, in order to do that, we have to become more neurologically balanced, as Christ's example was. Because without that simple part of practicing the neurology of Christ, which has become what Christianity is, there's nothing about Christianity that demonstrates Christ's example as of right now. Because our synthetic, inactive, and negative environment neurologically has trained our brains to make it impossible to be that way. If you take a shot of adrenaline, put it into somebody's heart, and then tell them to calm down and be at peace, be at ease, good luck. And our neuroanatomy is cranking adrenaline and stress hormones through our body all the time. It is impossible for us to be like Christ without training the opposite cycle, the opposite nervous system response. The ventral vagal nervous system response. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am, send me a message. But through my observation of the pandemic, for our politics right now, the general status of health in the United States, general status of children's health in the United States, general status of abuse of women across the world. You got the counterexample. You got a lot of work to be sharing it right now. Because what I found is that the only way to balance out the neuroanatomy in order to become more Christy is by strengthening the ventral vagal response, which is very, very simple. Long distance running, yoga, and chiropractic care. The mindset training is really good in order to develop a different state. However, mindset training doesn't strengthen neuroanatomy. So, as soon as there's a perceived threat, it overrides any kind of talk therapy or mindset therapy. The question I have for anyone that has watched this far is, what do you do right now in order to in order to strengthen and train your ventral vagal response in order to become more Christ-like? And question number 2, which maybe is question number 1, buen dia. So how many people actually want to be an awesome dad? I guess maybe that's a better question. That's I think the biggest lesson I've had to learn is like during the pandemic in Washington State. It's like I lost a significant amount of my patience being like, hey, you know, this whole plan of like staying home and masking and being afraid all the time, not a super good strategy. I have a different strategy that will work and will be effective. And what I realized is they didn't want a different strategy. They wanted to follow their political leaders and like turn it into a way to feel good about themselves as they slowly poison themselves and their children. I think that's a better question. Scratch the whole, what are you doing to train? How many dads out there actually want to be awesome dads? Or how many moms out there want their husbands to be awesome dads? Dads that play,
lap age,
have
9:41.
high levels of energy, aren't exhausted at the end of the day. Dads whose presence allows the kids to be happy and inquisitive and joyful and engaged. All right, 4 more. I'm out of stuff to talk about. Happy Sunday.